Ladies and gents, welcome to the Gaming Apocalypse. I'm Wraith, and this is Hellblade Sinuous Sacrifice. Before we jump in, I'm going to have to do something that I really hate doing, but YouTube has decided to stop pushing impressions out for small creators, apparently. It's honestly a miracle that you found this video in the first place. So, I'm going to ask you to do something, to consider doing something that normally I would never ask at the beginning of a video. And that is, if while you're watching the video, you like it, what you're seeing, you want to see more of this kind of stuff, use the subscribe button and set the notifications to tell you when I'm uploading new videos. Because again, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but they are not pushing impressions out for videos for small creators right now. I've tried asking, it's like talking to a sedated Helen Keller. You're not going to make any progress. So again, just keep that in mind as you're watching. If you enjoy what you're seeing, use the subscribe button, okay? And also, always keep in mind that you are an awesome person. So be awesome to others, okay? Let's jump into this and see where the finale of this game is going to take us. I'm going to be extraordinarily pissed off if I was supposed to keep going, and this is instead a failure. Because that was a lot of fighting. Apparently, I was just being too stubborn, and I was supposed to die. Well, you know me. I like to do things the hard way. Yes, I'm aware the episode's running very long. I feel like this is the finale, though, so I'm willing to let it run.
You're alive, and there's no darkness. And you never took it from me, did you? And I can't save Darian. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him? You're not a lie, but you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know it's him. I know you have him. I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul. Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. If you release him,
Interesting proposition. Pretty sure it doesn't really work that way, but at the same time, I mean, why would half of Hella's body be burned? I'm really confused right now. Like, why would Hella's body be burned?
But if you won't, you will have to kill me. Because I've got nothing left. No fear. No hate. No quest. Nothing. And you will have no power over me.
Probably wasn't the right thing to say, Senua, but at the same time, I guess it's one way for you to be with Dillian again.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, so... Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until all you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from our darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day, a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea.
Goodbye, my love.
Do I at least get to keep the grammar?
Do not mourn the waves, the leaves, and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting to be seen again.
Oh no. Oh. It's the darkness is coming. Wait.
This is where my story once began. And so it has to end here. Because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend, go with her. This now will be your story to witness. Goodbye.
I know it's hard to tell how mixed up you feel, hoping what you need is behind every door. Each time
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute that just because I don't like getting hits with copyright, and that feels like it's going to hit me with copyright. Okay, so that was the finale to Senua. Well, it's the finale to the first game. Obviously, there is a second game that's still in development as of right now. Not sure when it's actually going to come out, though. All right, while the credits are running, I'm just going to go ahead and swap over to the other cam. So I still have the credits rolling, just in case there's something, you know, some games will like to add a little extra something there. I feel bad about leaving it on mute, so I will listen to the music, but I'm just not going to have it as part of the recording because, again, I don't want to get hit with copyright. I feel like I wasted about 20 minutes of this episode because I refused to just, you know, let the enemies actually kill me. I kept trying to fight, which is kind of the point I think that they were trying to make, is that sometimes there's a fight that you just can't win. I'm just too dumb to, or too stubborn to accept that sometimes, that there are fights that you're not able to beat. So it's interesting. It's also interesting that they actually left the fight fairly well. I'm not going to say it was fair by any stretch, but it definitely wasn't like an insanely hard fight that like there's no possible way you could ever win it. Like I was actually holding my own pretty well until I just decided, all right, you know what, we're going to do this for science. If they had dropped like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of those axe bros on top of me all at the same time, with maybe, you know, a couple of the big uns along for the ride, that would have been an impossible fight. Or just when they hit me with, what was it, like 2 Valravens and a Gram, or I'm sorry, not a Gram, a Garm. and an occasional appearance by Cert. It was just like, what am I supposed to do against this? That was actually harder, but it's an interesting idea that you have to lose in order to win. It's also an interesting, I guess when you stop and think about it, it's not just a reference to, you know, sometimes you have to lose in order to win, but also kind of the 5 stages of grief as well. Like, you can fight it, you can be angry, but eventually you have to accept it in order to move forward. And I'm wondering if this was, in some sense, what's the right word for it? I guess a metaphorical tale for that, where she is trying to, you know, she's in the anger stage for most of it, as well as some denial in there, and then there's some bargaining tossed in at the very end, before it finally seems like she accepts it and starts to move forward. And by accepting it, she somehow reverses the rot that was in her arm, which is also an interesting idea. Yeah, this game definitely goes deeper than most of the games that I've ever run across that even start to touch on mental health issues. This one goes a lot further in detail with that stuff. Now, how accurate is all of that? It's kind of depends on how you want to look at it, I guess. It's an interesting game. I do feel bad that I missed out on some of the little storytime tablet things. I don't know where I actually missed them. I'm assuming that because you had that wheel of runes, and I assume as you went around that wheel, there were it would be a series of runes and then a dot, and then another series of runes and a dot. I'm assuming that each of those segments of runes is like one of the worlds or the trials that you're in, and obviously I missed some. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. I do feel bad about missing those, because a couple of those stories I actually wanted to hear the end of, but I also didn't want to drag things out, running back and forth, trying to find the, you know, where do they have this one thing hidden at? So, who knows? I'll have to go back and maybe play around with it, see if maybe I can locate those. Or I might just find somebody else that's already done it and find out that way. You know, I'm sure there's another video on YouTube somewhere about it. It's also one of the few times I've ever run across a game that actually makes use of, what do they call it? I think it's called binaural audio, where it's legitimately panning the sound from one headphone to the other in order to create like a sense of space around you. Yeah, I did really enjoy that portion of it. I thought that was really well done. And it's something that you don't run into very often. I've played around with other games that have tried to use it. Escape from Tarkov comes to mind, but Escape from Tarkov's audio is so badly broken that it's not worth even trying to use binaural. In fact, that was one of the suggestions for making the audio better, was to turn binaural audio off. I guess because it's not recorded correctly. I don't know. But this game does it really, really well. So, alright, the credits just finished rolling. Is there going to be anything else? Nope, it just takes you straight back to the main menu. Cool. Well, that was definitely a very good game. I enjoyed the heck out of it. With this being almost an hour long, I might actually split this video into 2. If I can find a spot to split it at. I feel like I'm going to. Well, either way, that's a decision for another time. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help with keeping the YouTube overlords happy. And if you want to see what's going to come up next for the next series, or any of the other videos that I've been posting, maybe hit that subscribe button. Use the notification bell. That way you know what video gets posted and when they get posted. I'm not sure what's going to be on the plate as far as the next series. There's still a couple of Tomb Raider games. I know Uncharted 4 is available on PC now, so that might be an option. Stray is an option. I don't know. We'll have to look through and see what catches my fancy. So anyways, till next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, life does get rough sometimes, so good luck, have fun, stay awesome. And I'll catch you in the next one.